Looking at the few century-old trees in front of him, Awe decided to settle down. He took out the family heirloom mountain axe from his bag and began collecting wood. He unleashed the legendary 36 axes of Tiangdang, and trees as thick as his arm fell to the ground with a thud. In a blink of an eye, enough wood was collected, and then suitable slots were cut for the wood, first fixed to the tree trunk with ropes, and then reinforced with wild iron nails. This process seemed a bit cumbersome, but it was actually not simple. In order to achieve the overall aesthetics, Wei took a piece of bamboo to measure and cut off the excess part with a saw, thus completing the bottom frame of the treehouse. He then took out a chisel and started to cut grooves. Thanks to the intensive blessing of his ancestors, such manual work is easy to do. After the mortise and tenon joints of the wood are completed, they can be assembled on the frame. Similarly, wild iron nails are taken out for reinforcement. I have to say that this mortise and tenon structure feels snowy, and it feels like I haven't learned the essence. I built it up in sequence. Soon the prototype of the treehouse was built, and then a pile of high-quality wild wood boards were found among the dead leaves. Awe couldn't help but feel happy, thanking God for the gift, and brought the wood boards back and began to install the floor one by one. In order to make the wood boards fit better, the careful Awe used tools to open the appropriate slots. Awe's skills led to a quick floor installation. He built the stairs first, digging a pit, placing posts, and compacting the soil. Then, he laid beams across the posts. For the treads, he split wood and arranged it on the frame, securing it with nails. The risers were done similarly. Awe then connected wild wood to the tree frame. As the sun set, he continued working by lamplight. The next morning, he started early to build the roof, cutting boards to size with a saw. Use iron nails to fix them one by one, and use wooden boards of suitable size to make the baffle below, and just follow the same method. Finally, a sturdy and easy-to-use staircase was obtained. Afterwards, Awe took out wild wood and began to connect the tree frame with beams to serve as the beams of the entire house. Soon the sun set in the west. To move into the new house quickly, Awe worked late. This guy is really capable. The next morning, Awe came early. Today's task was to complete the construction of the roof. First, use a saw to cut out a wooden board of appropriate length, then use a plane to carve out a hook on one side of the wooden board, so that the two wooden boards can be tightly combined, and then move the wooden board to the platform of the library. At this point, the preparation work is completed, and Awe directly lays the wooden boards on the frame layer by layer, and then fixes them with wild iron nails, and soon completes the construction of the roof. The next step is to fix the wooden boards on the side frames one by one. In this way, all the walls were completed. Awe finally had time to rest for 2 minutes, and took out the kettle left by his grandfather to drink water. In order to live here for a long time, a wooden door needs to be made, using wild wood strips as the frame, wild wood boards as the facade, and wild iron nails for fixing, and finally making a sturdy and beautiful wooden door. Awe installed the wooden door without stopping. At this point, the construction of the sky roof comes. The basic model work, of course. If you want to live more comfortably, a warm fireplace is essential. Awe first used a shovel to dig out some yellow clay, then added spring water from 1982, mixing and kneading it by hand. He transported the mud to the treehouse and collected a large amount of rubble to start building the fireplace. Using the yellow clay as a binder, he stacked the stones layer by layer, finally covering it with a lot of yellow clay. Awe used his skills to smooth the surface of the yellow clay until it shone, and by the time he finished talking, the inside was already done. This way, a beautiful and practical fireplace was completed. Awe, who loves life, somehow found a beautiful green plant. With the greenery, Awe's new home became even more inviting. As night fell, Awe lit the fireplace, boiled a pot of hot water, and sat outside to enjoy a moment of leisure. To celebrate moving into his new home, Awe decided to have a barbecue, taking out some wild pork and skillfully cutting it up, pairing it with onions, lemons, and small chili peppers, and sprinkling on his secret seasoning. After kneading and mixing the meat thoroughly, Awe neatly arranged it on the grill and placed it next to the fireplace to cook. After about 63 minutes, with the delicious aroma of the meat filling the air, Awe began to enjoy his feast. After lying in bed and briefly reflecting on life, he extinguished the oil lamp and drifted off into a sweet dream.